chapter. Further, Krishna says, Bhoktaram yajñatapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram sufridam sarvabhutanam jñatva mam shantim richati. The sages, knowing me as the ultimate purpose of all sacrifices and austerities, the supreme lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attains peace from the pangs of material miseries. So here Krishna has given the peace formula. He has told that one who knows that Krishna is the enjoyer of all sacrifices, Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam. So in any sacrifice which is mentioned in the Vedic scriptures, there is an enjoyer of those sacrifices. And the enjoyer of all sacrifices is the Supreme Lord Krishna. After the Lord has been offered various things for his pleasure, the prasada, the remnants of those offerings are offered to various devatas. So this is the process. One cannot directly please devatas without pleasing the Supreme Lord Krishna. Many people don't know that. If you worship devatas without worshipping Supreme Lord Krishna, it is a avidhi purvaka. It is not a authorized method of worship. In any worship, the enjoyer should be the Supreme Lord himself, because everything is owned by the Supreme Lord. Everything belongs to the Supreme Lord Krishna. We cannot take the ingredients and the resources from the creation of the Lord and try to please someone else who is not the Lord. So it becomes aparadha. It is called an offense. It is called theft. If you go to someone's house and take all his resources and enjoy yourself or give it to someone else, that is called an offense, and it is a punishable offense. In the same way, utilizing all the resources in this creation to please a devata or a demigod is not sanctioned in the scriptures. It is actually avidhi purvaka. It is incomplete worship, because we are not recognizing the Supreme Lord. So any sacrifice which recognizes the Supreme Lord and pleases the Supreme Lord is a perfect sacrifice, and that gives peace to one's mind, because he is in complete knowledge while performing the sacrifice. Secondly, Krishna says, Sarvalokam Maheshwaram. Krishna is the Lord of all planets. There are many devatas who are ruling different planets, but who has created those planets? Who have appointed those devatas in each planet? It is Supreme Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna is greater than even the greatest devatas like Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. Many people don't know this. They think that Brahma, Shiva and Vishnu, they are all equal. No. It is Vishnu, Krishna, who is supreme. His parts are all the devatas. So this is very important. We have to understand this. God is one, Asama Urdhva. No one can be equal or greater than God. So that person is Krishna. So from Krishna everything comes. Then Sufridam Sarva Bhutanam. The third point is, it is Krishna only who is the well-wisher and benefactor of all living beings. Lord Krishna is situated in the heart of every living being. Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Hriddesha Arjuna Tishtati. Krishna says, I am the Ishvara, I am the Supreme Lord of all living beings, and I am situated in the heart of all living beings. So the Lord knows the desires of every living being. As the Father of all the living beings, it's the Lord who fulfills the desires of all living beings. It is said in the Upanishads that Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam Eko Bahunamyo Vidadhati Kaman. The Supreme Lord is Supreme Nitya. We are all eternal. God is eternal. We are eternal. But He is Chief Eternal among all the plural eternals. Then Chetanas Chetananam. He is supremely conscious. We are all conscious living beings. God is supremely conscious. We are limited within our own body. Our consciousness is limited within our body. We can understand, we can feel the pains and pleasures of our body alone. But the Supreme Lord, He knows the pains and pleasures of all living beings, because He is everywhere. And then Eko Bahunamyo Vidadati Kaman. That one Supreme Lord, He fulfills the desires of innumerable living beings. We may have desires, but we don't know whether we can fulfill those desires or not. Even we may work hard, but even after working hard, whether we will achieve those results or not, we don't have any guarantee. But the Supreme Lord Krishna, if He chooses, if He wishes to fulfill anyone's desires, He immediately those desires are fulfilled. So the Supreme Lord, He can fulfill the desires of innumerable living beings. So if one understands these three things, that Krishna is the supreme enjoyer of all sacrifices, he is the master of all planets, both material planets and spiritual planets. Everything belongs to Krishna. He is greater than all the devatas. He is the supreme lord of all devatas. And the third point, Krishna is the best well-wisher of all living beings. If we understand these three things, we will achieve real peace and prosperity. So by accepting Krishna as Supreme Lord and acting in Krishna consciousness, by learning these techniques of how to serve Krishna with love and devotion from a spiritual master, we can live very peacefully, very happily, and achieve this Brahma Nirvana stage, the stage of supreme liberation, which every living being is eligible to achieve. So that is the message of this 5th chapter, how to work in complete knowledge of Krishna, that is called Krishna consciousness. So by working in knowledge of Krishna, that Krishna is great, I am his eternal servant, my duty is just to please Krishna, that is perfection of our life, that is the perfection of Karma Yoga, that is called Bhakti Yoga. So gradually we have to move from Karma Yoga to Bhakti Yoga. That will be taught by Krishna in the upcoming chapters. So this is the end of this section. We will be understanding now chapter 6. In the next video we will be understanding. Hare Krishna.